Ross Taylor here, Alameda Internet Marketing, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at Yelp's hidden reviews. A lot of people don't know about this, a lot of businesses don't know about the hidden reviews, and a lot of Yelp users don't know about the hidden Yelp reviews, and we're going to take a look at that and see why reviews from your clients may potentially end up here and how we can potentially see them come out of that area into your standard review section on your Yelp profile. Let's take a look.
So we are looking at Yelp here, and let's just do a random search. I'm going to choose moving companies. Moving company in near San Francisco, California, and let's see what our results are. Our first two results are generally going to be advertisements, and those are denoted by the ad icon next to their name. So these guys are paying Yelp to get a shot at showing up at the top of the list. It's important to note that paying Yelp does not guarantee you any difference in the amount of reviews that stick or prevent bad reviews or any of that kind of thing. It's just all about positioning. Further down, let's just grab one of these, and I'm just going to grab this one at random because they've got a huge amount of reviews here, 579 reviews. One big man and one big truck. I've never heard of them before, nothing to do with them. We're just using that as an example. And what happened there? Let's refresh. Alright, so here we go. So there's their Yelp page. At the very top, you're going to see their average of their reviews. It seems to be 5 stars. That's a massive amount of reviews. That's fantastic for them. And you can click that little button there to get an overall rating. You know, how many are 1 stars, how many are 2, 3, 4, etc. So far and away, most of the reviews are 5 stars, giving them that nice 5-star overall rating. But what is frustrating for business owners is when you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you get this light gray text here that, you know, unless someone told you it was here, you would never really think to look, especially on mobile, which is what most people look at Yelp on, right? There's 106 reviews that this company has generated, or sorry, the clients of this company have created and spent their time on, and they're not shown. And so if we click into that, what we get at the top here is a video where Yelp basically explains, hey, you know, there's an algorithm in place, and it's going to put reviews into the not recommended section based on their software, their proprietary secret software that decides, you know, this isn't going to be a good review to show our customers. And so, you know, to a business's advantage, some of these are going to be negative reviews, but some of them are going to be really nice 5-star reviews that, you know, it'd be great if they showed. And so when I click that link, it show, you know, there's 106 not recommended, and it gave me 3. So I've got to keep clicking here. You know, while all the recommended reviews were on that first page, the not recommended, I had to click again to get more, and then I have to click each page here doing this, click next to get more, etc., etc. But we're going to take a look at why these reviews end up here. And if we take a look at this page, it becomes, you know, it's pretty clear what's going on, what the common denominator here is, okay? And so, number one, if you get a review from someone and they've never used Yelp before in their life, and they decide for whatever reason, whether it's been suggested by a friend or whatever, you know, you should leave a review on Yelp, they go on Yelp and they leave that feedback. If they've never used Yelp in their life and they logged in just to leave a review for you, and then they never come back again, not even to use it to look up a place to go get donuts or whatever, right? They just left this review for you and then took no more action on Yelp. It can potentially stick them in this section. Okay, and other things that are going to stand out for Jill O in this situation is Jill O has not uploaded a picture of herself, and generally they're going to like it better if you have an image of your face. rather than something like this with these two kickboxers. It looks like here. You're going to be better off if it looks like a real person. Next up, the the person here has no friends, and they probably have friends. I mean, I'm not saying they're lonely, but they're not connected on Yelp. They haven't um, got friends on Yelp that they know, and it's not like Yelp's a social network, so you wouldn't expect anyone to have a ton of friends, but it can be a reason to count against you. Next up, they've only got one review under their belt. They haven't left any reviews anywhere else, and so that's another thing that could potentially trip it up. And then there's other stuff. I mean, nobody has access to the Yelp algorithm, right? Nobody, except for the engineers at Yelp themselves. The salespeople have no idea what's going on in there. They just, it's just there. But other things that can trigger it can be phrases in the text. The best. Always just tons of exclamation points. Really, just overly enthusiastic without a lot of detail. It can sometimes seem like it was a shill, or somebody wrote this review for them, and Google, Yelp will then look at that and say, maybe this just doesn't seem quite natural. Absolutely recommend them. The best, best ever. All those kind of phrases. When it's written naturally, your review is generally a bit longer, and there's going to be, reasons. There's typically going to be reasons why they didn't have the best experience. There were some things that were just a little bit lacking, or whatever. But to always say yes, the best in the world. I mean, I was in awe at how good these movers are. I mean, it's just movers, right? Um, so that's something as well that can trip it, and it's really hard to define that. So I wouldn't stress over those things, but do know that reviews can hit the filter because of this. Now, the thing is, the filter is dynamic. It is not static. So that means that when someone hits the review filter or the not recommended section, it doesn't mean that review is going to be in there forever. It can jump in and out. For instance, my own Yelp page for my office in the San Francisco Bay Area, I have two Yelp pages. I have one in San Francisco, I have one in Dallas. My one in San Francisco, about a year ago, only 3 of my 16 or so reviews were showing live, because the rest were filtered for whatever reason. And today, only one of my 16 is not filtered, and that is simply, beyond my control. But there's things we can do to potentially help that, and so we know that this review could potentially go into the real reviews if Jillo was to perhaps log back into Yelp, and let's say she checked in somewhere, and let's say now if she checked in San Francisco, that's going to be better. Um, if she checks into a coffee shop in Tennessee, that's not nearly as good because she's leaving a review for San Francisco business, and it's going to be more natural if she's left that review in the area where she, or if she does that check-in in the area where she's left previous reviews. If she was to leave reviews for other businesses in the San Francisco area, that would be a good thing for her. If she was to get out of the filter, if she was to add friends, fill in her profile, add an image, and the Yelp profile has a bunch of things you can fill in, like what's my favorite this, what neighborhood do I like the best, what's my favorite website. If she was to fill in all that information, it's going to make her look more like a real person. And yes, believe it or not, people do leave fake reviews on Yelp, and that's why this exists, to prevent that. Another thing that can be a problem for a review to get jammed in this section here is going to be when it's just doesn't maybe seem so natural that so many reviews came all in one shot. So if I look here, there's a review from this David, Gary, Fate, and Jill, and they all left a review on March 14th of 2017. They're all 5 stars, and it's like it's not that typical to get that many reviews in a single day. Even if you're a really high volume business, Maybe if you're a restaurant and you had a big promo or a big event going on or something like that, sure. But for a moving company to perhaps get 4 reviews in one day, it just doesn't quite sound natural. And so that could be a sign potentially. And I'm not saying that this moving company, I have nothing to do with them. I'm not saying they're playing shenanigans in any way, but potentially they are, so somebody could be making these reviews happen. Okay, it just maybe looks like that. And according to the guidelines of Yelp, you are not supposed to even whisper to your client, go on Yelp and leave a review. You're not supposed to ask. It's their terms of service were updated very recently as well, and it's just crystal clear. Don't ask for Yelp reviews. And so, if anything looks slightly like you may have run some sort of campaign to generate Yelp reviews for your business, this could be a sign of that. And so they may filter those reviews. And likewise, there's others very near that date on the 12th, another 4 on the 12th, which again, not only is that unusual, but it's just as unusual as being stuck next to these 4. So 2 days later, another 4. And again, these are all people in San Francisco with 5-star review and hands down best company, best, and no friends and no other reviews. So that is maybe perhaps a reason why these reviews could get filtered. So, and that's not a hard and fast rule either, because look at this one. Here's Gretchen. She's left 5 reviews for other businesses. But perhaps maybe Gretchen left all those 5 other reviews on the same day. Who knows? So let's say she left a bunch of reviews within the same day or even same week. Or what if these other reviews were for businesses in other other geographic areas? Um, that could get you. And then you get these reviews down the bottom. I want to mention these real quick. These are reviews that have been removed for violating terms of service, and I often see these being 1 stars reviews. And I got hit with a couple of these myself on my Yelp page, and Yelp caught them and removed them for some reason. So potentially these could be competitors or somebody just trying to mess around, and they were just very clear to Yelp that these were just not cool. And unfortunately, we can't see what they said, um, but there you go. They have violated the terms of service and they're out. So if you had an opportunity, if you knew any of your customers, if I was this moving company and I happen to know Mike B, let's say he moved back in March, and he did the job, and if you followed up with him for whatever reason as part of your regular business and just nurturing your clients and looking after them kind of thing, maybe mention to Mike, your review on Yelp didn't stick, and maybe tell him potentially why. Because you're not a Yelper, because you don't leave reviews on Yelp, and that's just something to think about, Mike. Maybe say something like that. But again, you don't want to tell people to leave reviews on Yelp for your business or anyone else. Just don't do it. So there you go. That's the filter. And other reasons why reviews can end up in the filter would be, let's say you've got someone's in your office and they're on your Wi-Fi, and while they're in your office, they leave a review for your business. Meanwhile, now they're in your office using the same internet IP address that you use when you log into your business Yelp account. That can maybe seem kind of suspicious. Or let's say when you do leave the review, let's say you're away on vacation. So you're in Tennessee and you're at a bar. And so I use Tennessee again for some reason. So you're in Tennessee, you're in a bar, you had a great time, and you didn't think to leave the review that night. 2 weeks later, you're back home in San Francisco, and you think, I'm going to leave that review. Well, now you're leaving a review from a completely different area, and it may trigger that. And Yelp, it's an algorithm. It's not. There's nobody sitting here pouring through every single review to make sure it's good, or make sure that it seems right. There's going to be a score, I would assume, that every single review is going to get based on all these myriad factors that decides what gets through. So what we learned today is there is a Yelp filter or non-recommended area where potentially hundreds of your business's reviews could be hiding. Why they go into the non-recommended or filtered area, and some of the ways that they could potentially come out. So if you were to check this same business maybe a few weeks from now, you may see uh, a different number. You may see only 98 reviews for one big man and one big truck in the not recommended section. Who knows? If some of these people came back and they started getting real active on Yelp, that could potentially happen. Um, and so that is it in a nutshell. The not recommended section, what it is, where it is, and why reviews go there. And again, some of the ways they can come out is if those Yelpers ended up getting active. All right, that's that. Thanks very much for watching this video. And if you have any other questions about Yelp or anything like that, or anything to do with local marketing, please feel free to give us a shout. Our website is alamedaim.com. We have offices in California, in the East Bay area, and in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Frisco, Texas. And we're always happy to help. All right, take care. Bye-bye.